This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Ethics in the Media. Introduction. Media ethics deals with the ethical standards, practices, and principles of media companies. Some of the media include film, art, theater, broadcast, and the internet. There are different ethical considerations that should be taken seriously by practitioners, journalists, and analysts. This explains why different corporations attempt to control and manipulate the media. Governments can rely on censorship to monitor the media. As well, business corporations can monitor the media through ownership. This discussion concentrates on the literal explanation of the topic and its implied meaning. Literal explanation of ethics in the media. The success of any media company is determined by the quality of their information and news. This explains why media ethics is a relevant subject today. The media is a field that deals with the best standards, ethics, and principles for better practice. Various media companies should consider the need for the best ethical practices. This would become the best way towards successful societies. Some of the areas covered under media ethics include ethics of entertainment, journalism, and democracy. There are various regulations that ensure media companies act ethically and professionally. To begin with, media houses such as print and broadcast media should always uphold the best ethical practices. The issue of news manipulation is evident also today. From this understanding, it becomes clear that the government should be on the front line to manipulate the media. By doing so, the people will always get accurate information. Most of the news media can hide the truth and sometimes present wrong information to the audience. Truth is a critical issue because it tends to conflict with other ideals or values. The ethics of the media becomes necessary in order to address the above issues. Different media companies should be aware of issues that might result in negative implications. While trying to tell the truth, it becomes necessary to consider the question of public interest. Although some information might be very true, such as confidential government information, it would be wrong to broadcast them because of public interest. As well, the issue of privacy plays a significant role in the media. This is the case because privacy is a fundamental human privilege or right. This explains why the lives of certain persons and public figures are a major concern. The other ethical consideration stems from the question of taste. The media should be ethical. This explains why journalists and other professionals in the industry should not reveal shocking images to their audiences. For instance, dead bodies or bloody scenes should be screened with caution. At times, professionals in the field tend to have conflicts with the law. This arises from various issues such as the protection of personal or confidential information. Sometimes journalists and other media companies decide to break the law in order to obtain their news. This explains why there is a need to consider the issue of media ethics today. In the present world, the study and analysis of global ethics has remained a major topic of discussion. However, what comes out clearly is that there are very few moral aspects today. This explains why the media today should reconsider the best norms and ideals in order to promote the best practices. The issue of ethics in the media has resulted in new frameworks that help individuals identify the major challenges affecting different fields such as the newsprint media and journalism. Implied meaning of ethics in the media. For many years, the question of media ethics has been widely examined to promote best practices in information dissemination. Media companies and outlets always consider the quality of their norms and practices in order to address most of the issues affecting different cultures today. The world is presently evolving through the wave of digital convergence. The situation has created a stimulating scenario that calls for new frameworks and ideals to address the issues affecting many people today. It is agreeable that modern changes in technology continue to change the nature of the media. Although the issue of ethical standards determines the success of any media company, it is quite clear that different companies have failed to embrace the best practices. It is evident that different reporters and undercover personnel tend to engage in wrongful media practices such as trespassing in order to obtain certain information and news. Sometimes they engage in deception and criminal activities in an attempt to get news. The current explosion of the internet and social media has changed most of the ideas linked to media ethics. Despite the existing legal frameworks, a new kind of information revolution has changed people's imaginations and memories. The world is today characterized by atrocities whereby individuals are struggling to succeed in their careers. Many people are trying to achieve their goals in a world that has become interconnected. The situation has resulted in dishonesty, thus embracing unethical practices in the industry. The above explains clearly how the media industry continues to face new challenges. Media companies are required to address the challenges if they want to succeed and retain their audience's trust. The issue of media ethics seeks to promote the best standards in the industry. The bedrock for any ethical and successful company in the media is its standards of practice. Media companies should always embrace the concepts of fairness, transparency, openness, and accuracy. The use of such concepts can play a significant role towards a successful and ethical practice. Companies should consider the best standards in order to overcome the issue of media bias. The media is a classic example of the diseases that continue to eat away the world's culture. It is evident that the media today plays a significant role towards a cultural breakdown. This continues to affect people's local identities and cultural ideas. According to Ward, it has become impossible for different media companies to apply ethical standards in their affairs. This has affected the integrity of the media houses. That being the case, there is a need to revisit the issue of ethics in the industry. The approach will help different governments and corporations establish new ways to keep all media companies in check. This will eventually promote the best practices and ethics in the industry. Conclusion. While the media plays a significant role in society, there is a need to monitor and control their practices. This is the best approach to promote ethical standards, prevent bias, and discourage any dishonest media practices. The current technological changes continue to affect the integrity of these ethical standards. It would therefore be necessary to encourage the best practices in order to promote cultural development. This essay on ethics in the media was written and submitted by your fellow student. You are free to use it for research and reference purposes in order to write your own paper. However, you must cite it accordingly.